don't give a about thimerosal, but I cannot believe we are still talking about it in that conversation I do give a about. For some context, thimerosal is a preservative found in some vaccines. It inhibits bacterial growth and it's been used as a vaccine preservative since the 1930s. Thimerosal contains a mercury atom. Some kinds of mercury-containing compounds, like the methylmercury often found in fish, can be related at high levels to neurological issues. But the mercury in thimerosal is ethyl mercury, which is cleared out of our bodies much faster and considered to be a lot less toxic. However, some legislation in the late 90s had us taking a closer look at how much mercury was present in different foods and drugs. And this is a good thing. We should be monitoring stuff like that. So out of an abundance of caution, we took it out of most vaccines. Now, since then, with decades of studies looking into it, reputable studies have found no link between the low levels of thimerosal in vaccines and neurological issues. However, back in the late 90s, early 2000s, when thimerosal was being taken out of these vaccines, it kind of got swept up in the same conversation around the fraudulent, now retracted study that suggested that the MMR vaccine was potentially related to autism. It is not. The kind of mercury present in thimerosal is really quickly excreted from our bodies, and it hasn't been in most US vaccines for decades. And for the ones where it is present, like the flu vaccine, there are thimerosal-free options available. So why are we still talking about this? Well, because the recently fired and then overhauled CDC Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices, or ACIP, voted to no longer recommend flu shots that contain thimerosal. And again, I don't really give a about thimerosal. You want to remove it and replace it with another preservative? Cool, it does not affect me. But there's no good scientific reason for this recommendation. The reason for a vote like this right now is not, in my opinion, a scientific one, it is a political and cultural one. Anti-vaccine advocates have held up thimerosal as a target for years, so even though this recommendation won't really do much in practice besides maybe make the flu vaccine a little bit harder to find and also potentially seed doubt in the public about vaccines in general, I think that the reason they've done this is as a signal to the anti-vaccine advocates to say that ACIP is now listening to them and on their side. And I don't really like it when scientific advisory boards are starting to make decisions that aren't supported by the scientific data. And what honestly makes me even more nervous right now is that I have a lot less confidence in scientific communications coming from the CDC. When I talk with students and the public about where are places to find good, reliable scientific and medical information, I hold up places like the CDC and the WHO. But now here's this slide deck on CDC.gov that's at best misleading and at worst full of fear-mongering about this preservative. It also contradicts a different page on CDC.gov about thimerosal. This page says data from many studies show no evidence of harm caused by the low doses of thimerosal in vaccines. We should be able to trust communications coming from the CDC as a good resource, and now I kind of don't. How have we so failed in science communication that we're still here?